Hello, welcome to Turkey.
Thank you.
First question is about yourself and freescale. Could you tell us yourself and freescale history?
Sure. I joined freescale in 2005, and I run Europe, Middle East, and Africa. I look after sales and marketing, and I also have another job in the evening, which is I'm the general manager. So I get involved in overseeing all of the activities that freescale has in the region, which involve product development, marketing, application support, and things like that, as well as sales and marketing. So when I joined the company in 2005, that was 1 year after freescale had been formed and spun out of Motorola, and just before the company went into private ownership. So for a period, the company was in private ownership, owned by private equity consortium, led by the Blackstone Corporation. And in 2008, the company went public again, and now is a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange. So it's as a usual American enterprise, I guess. So that's currently where we are.
The technology is changing, and you are a really deep history in technology business. What they change?
I think the real opportunity at the moment is connectivity. So connectivity really means the Internet of Things. So it's interesting if you look at the historical perspective, because 2010 was a tremendously important year, because that was the year when more things got connected, more machines got connected than people on the planet. If you think about the traditional definition of communication, it's about people talking to people. But the other dimension is clearly machines talking to machines, and that's the massive opportunity. So this opportunity for connected intelligence, if you will. So machines that are able to sense the environment they're in, process information, and then be able to share that data, and that will in turn create new business opportunities. And that's really what the Internet of Things is about. And from a freescale point of view, we're involved in sensing, embedded processing, and networking, which puts us in a somewhat unique position to be in this continuum, right from the very edge of the network, all the way through to data centers, the cloud, and this is where this concept of big data lives. So it's an exciting time, and we're involved in many of those technologies that go through that whole continuum of the IoT.
You say about Internet of Things and big data things. For the future, what is important up for us?
For
future.
Oh, for the future. Okay. I think what will be important in the future is there's two ways of looking at it. One of the ways is looking at applications. Yeah. That's where the excitement is for consumers, really. So if you think about areas like automotive, so cars have been around for many, many years. And if you look at how it's changing, cars are being connected, so internet connected to infrastructure. And that will affect us in terms of some new products. So there will be new insurance products, for example. So instead of having insurance for a car, which you may or may not use, you could imagine you could have insurance for cars when you need it, when you're using it. And that's possible because of connectivity. You could also imagine that safety can be affected. So we have more early warning of potential accidents. We could have smart traffic control. So instead of the massive wasted energy that's taken up in traffic jams, you could have dynamic rerouting. It's a lot easier if you don't have a big river in the middle of the city, but beyond that, you could imagine a way that you could be much more adaptive. And you think about that as an example, those are the sorts of things that the consumer will see. You could imagine home automation, so this ability to have your house more secure, monitored remotely wherever you may be in the world, and then products around making your energy more useful. Instead of getting into your house and then turning on the heat or the air conditioning, depending on which season you're in, you could imagine as you get into a certain route on your way home, your presence could be sensed, your house could be ready, it could be more welcome, and the energy usage, for example, would be a lot more efficient, as well as security improvements. Yeah. So those are the sorts of applications. What's freescale's contribution is what can we do to deliver the things that will make that happen. And that means, in the case of the automotive example, the sensors that will sense pedestrians, sense where the car is, transmit that data to the internet to enable this market to exist. So this communication of data and sensing of data, and then processing the data as quickly as you can close to where it's sensed. Because one of the challenges with the model of IoT is latency. Yeah. For it to work really well, it has to work very, very fast. And that means that you need to have some data being communicated and transmitted over distance because of the big data opportunity. But a lot more things need to happen, be sensed and processed very, very close to the point of touching the outside world.
Do you have a partnership like Google? They made self-driving car things and other things about home systems. Do you have a partnership or?
Well, partnerships are really what the Internet of Things is all about. In order to deliver to such a broad range of applications support, it's very important that we have partnerships. So we have partnerships with people who make software, and you'll notice some of the people that are here today. People like Green Hills are here today, Wind River are here today. And these are people who are making embedded software which will enable security, because that's a massive concern for the Internet of Things, security of data and where the data is being transmitted to. It'll help in terms of developing systems. We also have partners in areas like development tools, so tools that engineers would need to develop systems. Partners in terms of modules, so taking our hardware to the next level of integration. So we have a lot of partnerships like that. And then, of course, a big area of partnership for us is with customers. So we have very deep partnerships with people like Daimler, people like BMW, McLaren is a deep partnership, a technology partnership. So we have a vast range of partnerships. That's a really big, important part of what the Internet of Things is all about.
What is the relationship about your customers? What they expect and what they demand for you?
Our customers are very demanding. What they really look to us for is innovation. And innovation takes many forms. A key thing is size. So physical size is very important. So they look for in embedded processing, for example, very small devices that can be embedded in tiny devices close to the edge of the network. So things like our KL03 Kinetis device. This is the smallest 32-bit ARM processor in the world. So it fits inside the dimple on a golf ball. So tiny device. And that's very, very useful for a lot of our customers making embedded systems. So size is important. Power consumption is tremendously important because a lot of these things will work on batteries. A lot of them will be in very remote places as well, so you can't constantly change batteries, and you have to have a very high level of reliability. The other thing that's important for us is quality, because in the automotive space particularly, a lot of these devices are going into safety critical applications. So that's another area where we see a lot of pressure, so around quality, power consumption, size. And finally, there's this element of leading the way in terms of user experience. So a lot of what we do now is changed because of iPhone. So if we used to see data being presented to us and maybe one little display, a couple of LEDs maybe shining, now we expect to have a much richer graphical experience. And that sort of trend is driving semiconductor companies like freescale dramatically. So if you think about our i.MX family, that's bringing a next level of graphics capability to applications like infotainment in cars, for example. And all of those safety applications will require a much richer graphical interface.
Do you want to involve the wearable technology?
Wearable technology is something we do care about. And if you think about the things I've been speaking about, form, fit, function, density of memory, yes, and power consumption, of course, wearables are a big market. So medical is an area that we really care about. I think there's a real need to change the whole way that patient monitoring happens. So from the point of view of sensing and drug delivery, but also sensing patient care. With an aging population, virtually every country in the world has got issues with the affordability of healthcare. So I think that remote patient monitoring will be very important. And that's absolutely part of what we do, and it's another area where the Internet of Things can make a big contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.